There's many different ways to handle disagreements. So I'm going to give you a few of the methods that I know which can help you handle disagreements. Now, obviously, there's going to be way more than the ones that I mentioned, but that's for another time. Maybe I'll make another video on that, whatever. The first I would say is to constantly chase different perspectives. Narrow mindedness is often the failure of many, and I say this all the time. Understanding another's perspective is not the same as agreeing with it. You do not have to agree with somebody else's perspective to make an attempt to understand it. If someone does something that you believe is morally wrong, you should at least take the time to at least understand why that person may have done that, what their reasoning was behind it. In every argument, in every situation, you should aim to do that. Keyword aim. You're not always going to, which is completely fine. But by understanding their reasoning, you'll be facing the strongest version of their case, especially considering the fact that everyone's different. Some people may not be able to articulate their case in an effective way. Some people may not be able to say the right words or confidently express exactly what they mean and just borderline struggle to get their point across. But by helping to try and understand their point from your side, you'll honestly be doing them a favor. And it will decrease the likelihood of disagreement. And even if there is some form of disagreement, it will for sure help both of you handle it much better. A lot of people try and do what's best for someone else when they don't know what's best. But how can you do what's best for someone else when you're not considering the the other person and what they believe is best for themselves? How can you say that you're doing what's best when you're not open to new perspectives that help you reach that standard of best? Number two, you can work together. You can work together to just simplify and break it down. However, if disagreement is hostile and causing you pain, there is absolutely no shame in walking away from it. You can walk away, especially when you've said what you've had to say, and the other party is just being ignorant. Sometimes the best answer is just to detach yourself from those situations, especially when there's nothing that can be said to persuade or convince the other person. I mean, who knows? Personal reflection time may be what's needed for that other person to see the light or see things much more clearly, I should say. But either way, you need to know when to walk away. You need to know that when the conversation is constantly going in circles, going in loops, there's no clear conclusion, there's no clear resolution, no agreement. You need to know that it is okay to walk away. Number three, this one is pretty simple. I'm going to call it the for and against method. Identify the reasons for and identify the reasons against for each of your perspectives, yourself and the other party. Obviously, whoever has the most reasons for and the least reasons against would be the most logical reasoning or logical perspective to follow. And then you can just therefore choose to go with it. Now, it will probably leave the other party a bit bitter, but you just have no choice but to suck it up. And then as a bonus, the last one I will just say just agree to disagree. You do not have to agree with each other all the time. Sometimes you can just acknowledge the fact that you are both different. What I think may be different to what he thinks or what she thinks. We don't have to think the same thing. Nothing needs a conclusion or needs to be resolved. Just accept it for what it is, and that's okay.